Today, I'm going to give you the perfect glass skin routine, the top products that actually have efficacy, the order that makes sense, and the upgrades that will take your skin to the next level. Your skin is one of the first things people notice when making a judgment about you. It affects how healthy you look, how attractive you are, and even how rich or virtuous you might be through the halo effect. Hair, style, and physique matter, but if your skin is peeling, wrinkly, and full of acne, people notice that immediately. So, this is my list of skincare must-haves for glass skin, from most important to least important. Number 1 is tinted sunscreen. If you only buy one thing from this video, buy this, because nothing can outdo or outpace the damage you receive from the sun. UV exposure is the biggest driver of skin aging, and tinted sunscreen gives you this protection with an added cosmetic finish. It's important that your sunscreen is tinted with iron oxides because normal UV filters do not help with visible light damage, which particularly cause hyperpigmentation and worsening of acne scars. My pick here is the Beauty of Joe Sun Daily Tinted Fluid. It's an SPF 40, mostly mineral tinted sunscreen that still spreads extremely easily. The tint allows you to get a small makeup-like effect to even your skin tone without the effort of needing to put on makeup or getting called out for it. The Beauty of Joe Sun line also has tons of colors available, so it's easy to find your shade match. A special note here is that sunscreens in the US tend to be inferior to European and Asian formulations. This is because the FDA currently bans the sale of next-generation UV chemical filters that have been approved and used for decades in Europe and Asia. These chemical filters blend more easily into the skin, offer better UV protection, and do not absorb into your skin systemically, unlike US chemical filters. The FDA prohibits their sale in the US because sunscreen is a regulated drug, and no company has found it profitable enough to bring it through the lengthy clinical trials process for US approval. But if you can get your hands on it, go for European and Asian formulations over American ones. One particularly good one is the Beauty of Joe Sun Relief Sunline, although this doesn't contain iron oxides and is still best paired with a tinted sunscreen. The number 2 must-have is a retinoid. Retinoids are the most powerful anti-aging and health-boosting ingredients in skincare. Retinoids can help with acne and skin health by promoting cellular turnover so that your skin is constantly shedding old layers and replacing with healthy new cells, leading to better texture and tone. The best reasonably accessible retinoid is tazarotene, followed by tretinoin if tazarotene is too hard to get, and then adapalene if your skin is too sensitive for the other two. Tazarotene is a third-generation retinoid that is more selective and generally more effective than tretinoin with similar reported irritation level. However, it may be a bit harder to get from dermatologists because doctors will try to prescribe you tretinoin first because it's usually what they're used to doing, so there may be some additional effort to explicitly ask for it or source it yourself. However, tretinoin is still effective if tazarotene is unavailable or too irritating. Adapalene is easy for most to tolerate. In terms of timing, use your retinoid at night. Even though tazarotene and adapalene are photostable, nighttime is still the cleaner choice because retinoids can irritate skin and most people tolerate them better when they're part of the recovery window overnight. Note that retinoids are not safe during pregnancy. The next important skincare ingredient is vitamin C. For a glass skin routine, vitamin C is required as a cofactor for the formation of collagen. Vitamin C is also a potent antioxidant, making the skin look fresher and more even. My top pick for vitamin C is the SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic, which is the originally patented vitamin C from which all the clinical studies that show vitamin C's effectiveness is derived from. It uses a special mix of L-ascorbic acid with vitamin E and ferulic acid, which is critical because vitamin C degrades and oxidizes rapidly if it's not properly formulated and stabilized. As a budget option, the timeless vitamin C plus E ferulic is a good replacement. Because of the strict pH and stability requirement, you want to apply vitamin C as the first step in your skincare routine in order to preserve the cleanest environment and pH. Vitamin C is used ideally in the morning as a daytime antioxidant and to prevent potential conflicts with other ingredients at night that might be pH sensitive, like GHK-CU. Number 4 on the list is azelaic acid. Azelaic acid is a wonder ingredient and exfoliator that helps with acne, redness, uneven tone, and pigmentation. It's actually extremely gentle on the skin, even at higher concentrations, and is one of the few actives you can use even while pregnant or on Accutane. If you can get 20%, that's ideal. Unfortunately, in the US, concentrations higher than 10% are prescription only, but again, it can be easily purchased over the counter from many Asian countries. Number 5 in the list are the hyperpigmentation preventers. As a class, these ingredients help prevent hyperpigmentation in the skin, which are the red or dark marks that are left behind after acne or other irritation has healed. Hyperpigmentation especially sucks because it can last months or even years, so preventing it from appearing in the first place is crucial. Preventing hyperpigmentation is what can give you that incredibly even glass skin tone. Research has shown that even skin tone is a powerful driver of perceived youthfulness and health, and skin color distribution alone was linked to almost a 20-year range in perceived age. This is why even color matters so much and why it should be addressed specifically. My recommendation in the hyperpigmentation prevention category is Meloderm. It essentially tries to pack in every notable non-prescription ingredient that has proven effectiveness against hyperpigmentation, including kojic acid, tranexamic acid, niacinamide, and alpha-arbutin. One product I would advise extreme caution for is prescription hydroquinone. While most hyperpigmentation preventing ingredients work by inhibiting the tyrosinase enzyme that produces dark coloring, hydroquinone directly damages and kills the melanocyte cells. While this is effective at preventing pigmentation, it is also fundamentally damaging your skin, and long-term use is associated with permanent skin darkening and the opposite effect of what you want to see. If used, hydroquinone must be cycled with a few months on and a few months off. Because it's unsustainable, I prefer the other over-the-counter tyrosinase inhibitors over hydroquinone for long-term daily use, although you can still use hydroquinone as long as you cycle on and off. If used effectively, hydroquinone is definitely the most effective anti-hyperpigmentation drug available. If I had to outline the basics for most people, the non-negotiable core would be sunscreen, retinoid, vitamin C, azelaic acid, and hyperpigmentation fighters. This protects you from sun damage, increases cellular turnover, promotes collagen building, supplies antioxidants, fights acne, and prevents hyperpigmentation. But if you want to take your skin to the next level, here are my recommendations. Next on the list is the exciting next-gen category of skincare, primarily peptides and growth factors. These are not the first things I'd buy, but they're the first things I'd add once the basics are handled. They cover signaling and repair pathways that standard skincare doesn't touch mechanistically. The downside is that peptides and growth factors are expensive relative to their benefit, and the number of emerging technologies out there, from exosomes to polynucleotides to NAD+, can make the next-gen category of skincare overwhelming. For the most proven and accessible next-gen ingredients, though, I'd start with peptides and growth factors. Peptides are short amino acid chains that provide a variety of different signals to your body, including signals to repair or relax wrinkles. Growth factors are signaling proteins and a specific kind of peptide that generally promote increased growth, just like retinoids promoting increased cellular turnover. And with both peptides and growth factors, delivery is part of the challenge because it is difficult for larger bioactive molecules to penetrate the skin. This is why it's critical to find clinically backed peptide and growth factor formulas with proprietary tech for the delivery method, though the downside is that they won't be cheap. If I'm ranking this peptide and growth factor tier by importance, I'd go like this. First, the copper peptide GHK-CU. GHK-CU is a well-studied naturally occurring peptide in the human body that promotes significant anti-aging and skin regeneration by boosting collagen and elastin production. It's also involved with expression and modulation of thousands of important genes to reset them to a healthier state. My favorite is the Niod copper amino isolate serum and the thicker lipid version for dry, irritated states. Second, you want to add a powerful peptide complex, and my pick here is the Medic 8 Liquid Peptides Advanced. Medic 8 takes the kitchen sink approach at adding as many efficacious peptides as possible in a high-quality formulation. Third are the growth factors, and my recommendation is the Skin Medica TNS Advanced Serum. Skin Medica was one of the pioneers in the growth factor serum market and had the original published clinical studies with skin biopsies showing before and after improvement after taking the advanced serum. This, however, is also the most expensive item on the list at up to $300, but you can often find this on sale in the low 200s depending on vendor. To finish everything off, I'd add a CC cream, which is a moisture, light tinted sunscreen, and light concealer all in one. This is not a core treatment step and is mostly cosmetic, but this is the cheat code to taking already good looking skin and making it clean and camera ready with almost no effort. It's basically beneficial light makeup that you just slather on and forget about, making it unlikely that you'll be getting called out for it. My favorite is their Arborian CC cream, which is super light to put on and blends in extremely easily and provides good coverage. There's a normal version that is used on non-inflamed skin tone, and then also a green tinted version that works better when your skin is red from acne or irritation. Even though the CC cream comes with 25 SPF, I would still use a dedicated sunscreen first, and then apply the CC cream on top. The Arborian CC cream also has a European formula that contains more effective sunscreen filters for those living in or able to import from Europe and Asia. Now let's put it all together with how this routine looks in practice. In the morning, start with clean, dry skin. Go in first with your vitamin C. That's your low pH antioxidant step, and it makes the most sense early. After that, use your peptides and growth factors that have difficulty penetrating, ordering from lightest liquids and serums first and then the thicker ones. These would be the Skin Medicate TNS and Medicate Peptides. Since these are also relatively expensive, it's reasonable to use them just once a day at night if you prefer. Next is azelaic acid, followed by the Meloderm. A simple moisturizer is optional here if you'd like, since the products applied before likely already cover the moisturizing step. If not using your peptides and growth factors in the morning, then definitely add a moisturizing step. For the finish, apply your tinted sunscreen and then the CC cream at the very last. At night, we swap the pure acidic vitamin C with a NIOD GHK-CU serum because copper peptides are likely to be damaged at the pH the vitamin C is formulated at. Then, the TNS, Medicate, azelaic acid, and Meloderm. After these steps, apply your retinoid. The retinoid is applied after all the moisturizer actives to reduce the potential for irritation. However, if your skin is very resilient and you want maximum effect, you can move the retinoid earlier, right after the GHK-CU or TNS. For most people though, putting it later is the smarter move in order to reduce irritation because compliance beats theoretical perfection. After that, you can again optionally cap off with a simple moisturizer. And that's the routine to get glass skin. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you could help me out with a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below with any other questions and what you'd be interested in learning about next.